Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Students, welcome. My name is Jay. You can see my name and everything there. And as Professor mentioned just now, this is part 9, and I'm hoping to have another 1 or 2 sessions before I wrap up this series. And previously, in the previous video, again, all the videos are available on YouTube as well as in your college dashboard, I believe. We talked about how having a social media presence, like for example, in every video, I mentioned that you can simply Google my name and you can get in touch with me. A lot of people have said that's very useful because a lot of times people don't know how to contact me. But if they just remember a name in a video or an email or something, just Google it and they know how to find me or what I'm up to and stuff like that. So that's what we talked about. Now,
So
in order to make
just to clarify, they put in Vijayasima?
that's right, Professor. My full name, my legal name, Vijay Simha BR. You can, just Google it and you'll get to see all my stuff. My YouTube channel, blogs, Twitter, everything, everything.
Okay.
So that is something I discussed. Like, how do you get something like that? You might be thinking, okay, how would I have something replicated for self as a freelancer? How could you make that happen for yourself? We talked about different methods of doing it. And today I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, Professor, where one of the techniques I mentioned is how you can go about have your own blog. Some people use the word publication, like in a magazine. So how you can have your own blog or magazine on 2 brands here, Professor. One is the one called Medium. That's one of the nice, I'm going to show, of course. And I'll also be talking about Substack, which is kind of like a smaller brand, but very similar to Medium. So these are the 2 places where I myself do some of the content publishing as well. So that is what I'm planning to do today, Professor. Essentially, I'm going to show people how you can go about having your own content space on the internet without having to go through all the rigmarole of building your own blog or something like that. That is the plan here, Professor. Professor, I thought you had a question there. No, okay, I'll continue then. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So, guys, so first step is let's go ahead and understand. Now, there are 2 brands. Let me show right now. I'm going to go away from the PowerPoint. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I already have my browser ready here. So first step is, this is the first one, the one that I like the most. It is called Medium. You're looking at my own account right now, but it's nothing personal. It's all publishing. So it's totally okay that you guys can see it. You can see here, let me just move this to the left side. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is my account. You can see there right now, I have 3 publications. I have one publication called the Sanguine Tech Trainer, just some, word. It means a guy who's very patient or something. Then I have another publication. It's for photography. I don't want to open it here because, there's nothing photography going on here. And of course, I have the another one, which is mainly for coding. That's this one here. So again, you can just Google and find these publications online just by Googling my name. So this is the first thing I like about both Medium and Substack. Let me show Substack as well. I'll keep jumping between these 2 brands. I'm sure you'll get used to it. So this is Substack. So this is called a Substack. I have mentioned the spelling here already. First one is Medium. Those who are taking notes, I always tell you guys, make notes. The first one is called Medium. And the second one is called, I have the spelling here, Substack. So these are the 2 websites that I'm showing you right now. So you can see here, they mostly look similar. Like I have my Medium page here, I have my account, and I can see my publications. This is what you will see as well once you create an account. And in Substack, you go here, again, you'll see I have multiple publications here also. I have something called creative coding. I even did a session about this, I think last year, called P5JS. Sometimes I blog about it. Obviously, I talk about freelancing. This is a podcast actually. So those of you who want to listen to my advice, every now and then I put out audio recordings of my advice. A lot of episodes there, some 20 episodes, I think. Yeah, so you can go ahead and listen to my voice on your podcast app like Apple Podcast or Spotify or Audible, wherever you are. So that's another publication I have. So this is the main thing, my dear students. So when it comes to publishing content, I'm not only talking about blogs, like writing things, I'm also talking about the podcast feature where you can publish audio stuff. Now, I can't go too deep into podcast today. Maybe I'll go into it today if there's any time left, or maybe next year when I come back for this next cycle of the freelancing thing. So this is what you'll see. So let me go ahead and show you how you go and create a new publication and how it would look, okay? So there it is. First step, of course, you have to sign in. There's no account sign up and stuff like that here. When you try to sign in, let me show you how this would look when you visit there for the first time. Let me open a private tab. There it is, and I'll go to medium.com. So this is what you will see, some the hello background, everything. And you'll see here, you can sign in with Google if you want, or you can simply sign in. And there's an option called sign in with email, or there it is, creating an account. Again, the procedure is still just the same. Just give them your email address and they'll send you like a registration link and the account is created. And then you can just log in. There's no password or anything like that. This is called passwordless log in. You may have seen that in some websites already. So they use that feature, or you can just log in with your Google or Facebook account. So that is really the first step. Just create an account, verify the email account, and that's it. You're signed in. So once you're signed in, you'll probably see your name like this, and that's all there is to it. If you want to, you can go ahead and update your profile. Now, I have seen a lot of my clients, they do check out my profile, like like on GitHub, or whenever I write an email to somebody or I send a message to a customer, I usually copy the link of my Medium profile and put that in my footer or something like that, or maybe on WhatsApp or Discord. Somebody asks me, Jay, I would like to know what you have done about something recently. Then I can simply go ahead and share them my profile link, and they can see all the stuff I write about. And you know what, like I've been writing for many years now, so it's a lot of content I write about. So many things about movies, freelancing, coding, spoken English, and all this stuff. So when your client looks at this, they look at your profile, they can see all the things you're writing about. You know what it does, I mentioned this before in the earlier videos. You must have very nice command of English, both the written English and spoken English as a freelancer, because a lot of customers are not going to be from your home country. You'll mostly be working with customers from other countries where English is the best way to communicate. So they would expect that you have, oh, I'm sorry about my big photo there, Professor. I was going to go away from that. So yeah, so when they see all these blog posts and everything, I've seen a lot of clients coming in and giving me like a feedback that yes, the English looks nice. So I don't have to tell them that I'm good in English. They can see for themselves that I do have good English. Like you can open any one of them. You can do that right now. Just Google and you'll come to my blog and you can read. You can see that, I'm also, there's also images. I'll show you how to do all these things. This is done with AI. I'll show that as well. And the next session, I might actually spend some time talking about AI tools before wrapping up this series. So yeah, there you go. So when you read something like this, this guy seems to know what he's writing about. There's some sense to it. There are a lot of links, like for example, this is a blog post I wrote today about .NET. So there you go, something new. And then somebody comes here and I put a link to my GitHub. So they go to my GitHub. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is how it helps. So somebody will come there. I'm talking about .NET. Then they come to my GitHub and they're like, wow, okay. This guy has a lot of projects that he has done over so many years. And that really puts that impression. So when the client comes in to talk to you, you don't have to work really hard to sell yourself, because your blog, your GitHub already has worked hard to sell you as a freelancer. See, that is really how these publications help you. When you're sleeping, when you're busy with something else, when you're traveling, these things are working round the clock, trying to impress your client, trying to help you find more customers. So when you actually talk to the customer in the interview and stuff like that, already your image has been set. So they already know you are a good candidate. So they can go directly to discussing about the work, the schedule, the pricing, and stuff like that. So that is really how this helps on a like a meaningful way. Now let's jump into some practical. So let's go ahead. How would I create a new publication? Very simple. Once you log in, you go here, you'll see a button called Manage Publications and stuff like that. So go directly right there. And once you go here, you'll see a nice little button which says Create a New Publication. Very, very straightforward. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to call this one Professor Lambert. Is it okay if I use your name, sir? Is that all right? I'll use something else. I can't hear you, sir. It's muted.
Yeah, go ahead and use, how about Snoopy?
There you go. So I'm going to say
Dr. Snoopy.
Dr. Snoopy.
That's it.
And his
Friends.
Friends. Okay, there you go, Professor. So very straightforward. I'm literally creating a new publication. So you can blog about anything as many times we have discussed. But of course, because you're talking about freelancing, you put something about freelancing. And then go ahead and add a description. So this one I'm going to say a magazine that talks about Snoopy and his friends and their life. That's it. You can add a lengthier description depending on what you're freelancing. So if you're a musician, so go ahead, add a description for a musician. If you are a person helping with voice recording or coding or teaching, whatever you're freelancing, put that description, because that is the first thing that comes in Google when somebody comes to searches for your magazine, or when you send a link, that's what shows up. And then you'll have to add an image. So here, now there are many things you can do to get yourself an image. You can get it from anywhere. My usual way of getting images, as I mentioned, is Unsplash. Okay, very good place to go to get high quality images. And of course, if you like me so much, you can also go ahead and use one of my many images. I do a lot of traveling. These are all my own photos taken by me over many years of photography. So if you feel like using my photos, you can use that too. So what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and download one of the images. So let me start with one for Snoopy. Let's say I'll take this car. There you go. So I'm going to download this image right now. So there it is. It's downloaded. Next thing I know, I'll go to my publication. Here I want to go ahead and add. I'm going to go to downloads. There it is. That's the image I'm going to upload. Very straightforward, my dear students. So if you want image, that's option number one. Second option, I'll be talking more about AI in the next session, is of course you can use AI. Microsoft has released this thing recently, or you can go to Bing Image Creator. Again, I'll talk more about AI in the next session. I do have some plans before I wrap up this series on freelancing. So go ahead and then, create an image. So if you don't like to use images in Unsplash, no problem. Go to AI and you can ask, create an image of a dog and dog friends, digital paint, evening, park, happy. So there you go. Just add a prompt. I'll spend some time on prompts in the next session. So we'll just wait for the AI to create. I have that premium subscription I told you guys. Oh, it won't create that image. Sorry, guys. Let's me say group of dogs celebrating in the park, digital paint. Sometimes the AI will refuse to create an image. I still don't know why. It was nothing dirty or anything. I'm not sure. So that's two options for you. One, get the image. Oh, even that is not. Oh, sign in. It's asking me to sign in. Oh, sorry, Professor. 1 second, sir. I thought I was already signed in. It says I'm not signed in. 1 second, Professor. Yeah. Right. Professor, the AI thing is not working. I don't know why. There's a glitch. It's not giving me a sign in button. I'm going to skip this step. I'll talk more about AI in the next class. So guys, again, this is another thing. AI is new technology. This is something I mentioned before as well. Look at that. It's not even showing me a sign in option right now. So anyway, we'll stick with the images, folks. So let me go back to
which
my
one? Which AI is that?
Professor, I'm using the one from Microsoft for Copilot. It's still new though. As you can see, it's glitching right now.
Oh,
It won't
okay, it's glitching. Okay.
Yes, sir. Hopefully it'll work in the next session. So okay. Otherwise, I have other IS I can use. So let me get another image, folks. So what I'll do is I'll go here. I'll take this train thing. This is actually a train from the train museum in my home city. So I'm going to download it. There it is. There you go. Let's download it. Okay. Now let's come back to the publication page. And here there's another image I have to upload, a logo. So I'm gonna take my train image, there you go. And that should be uploaded as well. So those are the two main things. It does ask you to put those images. So now this is something very important. So please make sure you have images of what you are trying to sell before you start the process. Or if you don't have an image already, go ahead and use AI, take the help of AI to create the image. So let me just try it again. Just some dog, happy. But yes, the dog will sometimes, the AI sometimes will glitch out. So anyway, so there you go, guys, two options for you. But remember to keep your images relevant to your freelancing, okay? So that's the main thing. So to have two images ready. Next thing is put your contact information here. So I'll go ahead and use my own contact info. So there you go. And then if you use Twitter, go ahead and put your Twitter. If you use Facebook, go ahead and use that. I don't use either of those things. I do use Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Instagram thing right there. So these things are, again, very useful because when somebody comes to your publication page, they would like to get in touch with you. Of course, you always have email, but social media links like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram will definitely help you. So go ahead and fill up the details. And if you don't have these things, this is a good time for you to go ahead and create wherever you feel is relevant. Like for my work, I don't think Twitter and Facebook is relevant, so I don't use them. However, many of my students are very young, like in the age group 15 or 20 or 25. They do use Instagram a lot. So it helps me to have an Instagram account. Sometimes I get work from my students or they like to know what's going on with me. So there you go. Have all these things ready before you set up your own publication. And then topic. So this is again like tagging. This is how the website will categorize your publication. So I am a tutor, like this one is about dogs and stuff, cartoons. So we can say this is about dog and then cartoon. There you go, friendship. So make sure you use the right topic because this really does help both your SEO and how the publication internally categorizes your publication. So next thing is people. Now, this is another thing I like. Okay, this is very exciting stuff. Now, let's say I'm not able to use it because I'm not really in the content business. But if you're trying to get into the content writing business, where you're trying to become like a article writing and stuff like that, which is a good way to start a freelancing career, you can have one publication with multiple people part of the same publication. So you can literally add your friends as writers to the publication like a real world magazine. You know how you have magazines or news websites. Like for example, there's this website called comingsoon.net. It's a movie website. I like to go there to read about movies. And whenever you open an article or something, you'll usually see that the article is written by a different writer. So if you want to have something like this, so let's say you're trying to build, you're trying to hold on, resume play. Yeah, let's say if you're trying to build your own writing team or something and you want to showcase your content, then you can actually have like one person managing the publication like a real magazine, and then a lot of writers are writing articles and publishing it. So it becomes like a very collective thing, very useful if you're in the content writing business. Usually in the content writing business, there's one person or two-person running the business, like talking to clients, payments, and stuff like that. And there'll be like 3, 4, 5, or 10 writers taking care of the actual writing work. So if you're trying to get into that business, then this is a really good idea. So anyway, so let's come back here. So now that's the thing. That's what you're going to do here. So this is a feature I really like about Medium. I'm not using it because I don't have any content business or a content team, but there you go. So once you're done, that's all there is to it. So again, go here, put your title, description, have two photos ready. If you don't have two photos, get it from Unsplash or use AI to create it or get it anywhere you want, depending on your work. And then put your social media details, email, very important. Again, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you use it, put the Facebook ID here. Topics, very, very important, depends on what you're trying to freelance. Finally, if you're building a team, especially for content business, this is a good option for you to add all of them to this publication. So there you go. So that's, and then this is how it looks like, the homepage layout. I'm not gonna do anything very different, but I can add a background image. So I'm gonna do that. I'll just use my train image again, or the car image. I think the train one looks good. Oh, there you go. I had the background image here. I think it is loading. There you go. And this is how it's going to look. And that's it. I just have to hit create and give it a 2 seconds. That's it. The publication is now created. Professor Lambert, so if you can tell me what I need to write, sir, I'm gonna show how to create a post in the brand new publication. And the best part, Professor, is I'm going to share this publication right now, and all of you should be able to click on it in the chat, and you can go ahead and open it right now. So it's ready. It's ready to use. And as I start adding articles, you can start reading it. So, Professor, just write a simple post, just show people how it works. So tell me, sir, what should I write about? If you can't think of anything, I'll come up with something, sir. Professor, you're muted, sir.
Dr. Snoopy had a wonderful day taking his friends fishing at the lake.
Okay, so let me do that. So there you go. I'm just gonna move this window here, guys. The zoom windows. Let me just get Snoopy, wonderful day. So that's it.
So you've created the blog post, and now you're going to write the title and the text.
That's right, Professor. But a small change of word would use, sir. I have created the magazine. So now I'm writing the articles into that magazine. Yes, sir. So now I've given a table based on what you said, and now I need to put an image. So let me see if the AI is still glitching. If it is, then I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why. Right? No, it is, right? Like you're trying to show someone something, and that's the day it's not gonna work. I'm sorry about that, guys. If you want to blame someone, blame Microsoft. Let me try it again.
Artificial intelligence is moving so fast right now that the codes are having glitches. So they have to make them and then repair them, make them, repair them, make them, and repair them really fast.
That's right, sir. That's the thing, isn't it? Like this is a very new thing. It's only like 1 year old or something. Like in fact, just the other day they pushed a new update, and I realized I can no longer save images. So they must be working on these things, fixing things, and they're rolling it out. Before it was only available in some countries, now it's globally available. So I think today they're having some issues, but I'm going to try anyway. Let me try to create a paragraph so I don't have to type it about a dog spending the day with his friends. Let me see. Give me a long if it works. So I don't have to type it, Professor. I think it's going to do it, sir. There you go, sir. I don't have to type. So there you go. Perfect. So it's
we are looking at it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there you go. So what I do is I just split this into 2 parts, and I'll just say, give me another paragraph. Yeah, it's working now. I think the image thing is having an issue, so I think everything else is working fine. Excellent, excellent. I like it. Okay, all right. So there you go, guys. I'll jump into AI more in the next episode. I have a lot of things planned for the next episode in terms of AI. All right, then. So let me just copy this, Professor. I'll go back to my new. I need an image though. Let me take. I'm sure I have many dog photos in my photography. There it is. There it is. Professor, I'm going to use this one. Okay.
Right. If the AI was working, you could say, "Give me a picture of dogs fishing in a lake."
Yes, sir. It's unfortunate they're having a glitch today. I'm so sorry about that. But it's okay. I have a backup. I have photos ready to go. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Yes. So there you go, Professor. I have a nice image, and then I'm going to put the attribute here. Guys, whenever you use images, don't forget to put the attribute. It always helps. Okay. And content, luckily the AI is not glitching. So I'm going to take this. I'll put it here so I don't have to type. So this is what people say, Professor, when it's taking away work from people. See, the thing is, like right now, I would have to sit, or before the session, I would have to ask somebody to write this, but I don't have to do it anymore. So that's what people talk about, AI taking away work.
Now, all of this information in the article is free, correct?
That's right, sir.
Do you have the option of selling articles through medium.com?
There is, Professor. I will be talking about this at the end of the. There is, sir. There is. I will talk about that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So there you go, guys. So go ahead, put your content. Anything. If you want to add other images, you can do it. You can put links, and Medium will automatically detect the links. For example, let me just go to here. I'll just go to my GitHub. Okay. So let's say I want to put a link to my account. I'll just go here and I'll take the link, and then I'll come back and I'm going to put the link and just press enter, and automatically Medium will, see, look at that. It puts a nice preview. It looks nice. Ultimately everything looks nice. So, and then of course you write whatever you want. At the end, add a footer or something. So this is what I normally do, guys. Whenever I finish writing an article, the footer is where I put information. So for example, if I go here, you'll see that at the end of the article, that is where, if somebody is coming all the way to the end of reading an article, I'll put something like, you know what, guys, if you like this article, go ahead, hire me on Upwork or GitHub or visit my post. I'll put whatever you want in the footer. I like to keep it simple, but there are people who put a big footer, nothing wrong with it. And once you're done with it, there is a nice publish button. Now go ahead, add some tags. Very important, adding tags. So this is a post about dogs. So I'm just going to say dog. There you go. You get some tag suggestions. I'm going to put a dog about Snoopy. There you go. And then just go ahead and click on publish. And that's it. That is now ready. Now, if I want to share it somewhere, I can copy this. And then let's say I want to share it on LinkedIn. I'll go to LinkedIn. And then I'll just go and put it here. And then I'll just share it here. And I'll type whatever I want on LinkedIn. I'll be like, something like, hey, a demo article I wrote using AI while taking a session. It's okay, I'll share it. Nothing wrong will happen to me. So there you go, that's it. And this link, that link I sent you earlier, Professor, the same link, if you just open it again or just reload the page, you can see that the magazine, it was empty a minute ago, but now it has one article. So all of you should be able to see it on your computer as well. So this is what I'm talking about. So imagine this, Professor, like you have let's say you're a musician and you have some ideas, you have some notes, you create a publication once in a week, once in twice a week, you sit down, maybe you can write about your favorite music, your favorite instrument, how you got inspired, what kind of services you provide, whatever it is. Just sit down. Again, you don't have to write everything these days. You can even take help from AI. It's not the end of the world if you take help from AI. A lot of people are doing it. And then you write about it, and then you share it on Twitter, you share it on Facebook, you share it on LinkedIn, you share it wherever there is a network, you share it with your friends, family, and then the word spreads. And eventually, that will help you pull people towards you. That will help you pull customers towards you. And all of this looks great. It looks great on a mobile phone. It looks great on the computer. Things are just ready for you. The only thing is just have to put some effort. So there you go, my dear students and professor. That is how you go ahead and create a publication on Medium. And that is also how you go ahead and create a post on Medium. And also you'll get the link, share it on social media, share it on wherever you want. And just let it grow over time. And the more you do this, eventually the Google search engine will start noticing that there's some blogging stuff happening. And every blog will have your name, it will have your photo. And the best part is, like just like in Instagram and places like that, a lot of people follow me, a lot of people follow stuff like that. Like for example, let's say I'm looking for work. Sometimes I'll just write a blog post like I'm looking for work, and sometimes people will actually get in touch with me. Hey man, look, I do have some work for you, let's get in touch and stuff like that. So this whole thing really helps. One more thing, there are many things here, but one thing I do want to show you is whenever one feature about Medium that I like a lot is when you publish, there is an option to add what you just published into a list. Now, I love this feature because, see, when you're blogging, you could be writing about many things. You could be writing about music. Let's say, again, I'm going to take a musician's example. A musician could be writing about different music instruments. A musician could be writing about music festivals, music artists, or musical history. But there's no point in creating many publications for each and every topic, especially when they are all related to the music thing. So Medium has this option where you can add things to a list. See, that is what I do. Like you can look at here. What I do is every time I publish something, I always make sure I add it to a list. Like if I'm writing about gaming, I add to the gaming list. If I'm writing about something else, I write to the GitHub list, podcast list, movie list. So I have so many ideas, so many things I write about, and the list help me organize. So how does this work? So if I go here to my profile, and then there's a dedicated button called list. So let's say I am talking to someone like an employer or someone. I do a lot of business consulting. So let's say somebody tells me, Jay, you know what? I attend a business session or freelancing session like today. I want to read more about freelancing and business, but I went to your blog and there is so many things which are not relevant to me. No problem. I put all my business things in the business list. So that guy can simply go to this section and only read the business stuff. So if I'm talking to a client and like asking them to hire me for a business project, then I will say, you know what, man, look at this link. I'll just share this link. I'll put this link here also. Why not? And they can just read about all my business ideas I've had for some time. So don't forget about the list feature. There are a lot of people who don't use the list feature. Very, really bad. Use the list feature because you could be writing about many things. And this is one way to organize things without having to create multiple publications. Other
JJ,
than
if I could
that,
ask a question, what
yes,
would
sir.
you suggest? What would you suggest being the title of your magazine? Something that is your name. How would you
Right.
title your magazine?
Uh, Professor, I can use my own example. I have three magazines here. One of them is called the Sanguine Tech Trainer. Another one is called, this is a native language word for artistic project professor. I don't think I'll open that here, but I'm going to focus on these two things, Professor. Like this one is called the Sanguine Tech Trainer, and this one is called Project WT. So let me tell how I came up
And
with
those are
this
different
name.
magazines.
There are different magazines, Professor, with different titles and everything. I came up with this name because I work as a trainer and I mostly teach technology. Like when I started, I mean, these days I do more than technology, but when I started, I do a lot of technology training. And I wanted to tell people that I'm a very patient guy, which is actually true. So I looked up online, I found many words for patience. And I like this word, Professor. Sanguine means a guy who is really, really patient. So that is how I came up with the title, The Sanguine Tech Trainer. So I guess depending on what you try to bring to the table, Professor, like I always tell that you remind me of Indiana Jones. So if you create a magazine, you could say the adventure uh, um,
The high
guide.
adventure of finding treasures around the world.
There you go, Professor. So whatever brings, it's like a combination of your profession and something about your personal trait that really communicates to people what you are. So the moment they see it, they're like, okay, the guy is a trainer in technology and he seems to be very patient. This one, Professor, is actually the name of a project that I used to use way back many years ago to teach my students. So that's where the name come from. Although that project is now gone and newer projects have realized, now everybody knows that's what it is. So this is more of a software development thing. So when people see the word project and technology, they're like, okay, this must be a blog about programming. So that's the communication. So there you go, Professor. That is what I would say. When you're creating a publication, do some brainstorming with yourself, with friends. You know, AI is there as well these days, and come up with a name which communicates something about what it's all about.
I just put in chat a question to everyone. What magazine would you create for yourself? So we'll see what kind of responses we get.
There you go, Professor. Yes, sir. Professor, now before I move on to the Substack thing, I still have some time to talk about Substacks. To answer your question from before, now, Professor, there is such a thing called as, I'm going to show you, sir, because I think they introduced it in India as well. So I did see a notification for that. One second, Professor. If I go to my profile, If I go, yeah, there it is. Professor, do you see this thing here called Apply Medium Partner Program? Yes, sir. It's on the screen now. Yes.
Yes.
So if your content is really blowing up, Professor, like for me, the blog is simply an extension of my career. I don't really depend on it for any money or something, so it's free. But if you really see your articles getting a lot of views, like thousands and thousands of views on a daily basis, then there is this program called Partner Program where you can restrict some or all your publication under a paywall. So if people like your stuff, especially if it's becoming really popular, no, it's going viral and stuff, you can sign up for this program. And then for every article, they do pay out some money. Now, again, Professor, we are talking about people who can create content with thousands and thousands of views. So that's fairly challenging. But yes, if somebody happens to have such kind of content, then it is there. Now, one more thing, Professor, the Medium Partner Program, because this is a US company, they only operate in some very specific US connected nation. So they only allowed this in India, and I'm not even sure what the procedure is. So this is a hit and miss, Professor. So if you really want to make money from your content, then obviously the best way is to write about your stuff and then link it with your Upwork or Fiverr account. And then that is the real way you would make money. But yes, if your content is really blowing up, this option is always there. Oh, and one more thing, Professor. Another option is if you're in a country which doesn't have this program, then I've seen a lot of authors, they actually create an account on Patreon, sir. I'm sure you heard about this. This is a where you can become a content creator account, and you can literally ask people to simply give you money for your content. So that is an alternate option if you really want to make money from your creative pursuits. Does that answer your question, sir?
Oh, yes.
Excellent, excellent. So I still have some time here, Professor. So let me move on to the Substack thing, which is the second option. Now, Medium will do most of the things I talked about. List. Excellent, excellent. So let's go to the Substack one. Now, I still like Substack, Professor, as I showed. I'm showing now as well. I have stuff here, and I also have stuff on Substack. Now, why is that so? One reason is I have mentioned many times in freelancing, you must always have a backup. Like the other day, I was talking about how I have 4 computers for work because I never want to miss a deadline and stuff like that. It's a little bit paranoid, but it's good to have backup when it comes to work. Similarly, companies come and go, services come and go. Suddenly they may stop working. Suddenly they may become too restrictive. I don't know. Anything can happen. So I want to have a backup. That's it. That's reason number one. So I have Medium, which is where 90% of my stuff goes. But still, every now and then, I'll write on Substack as well. So in case Medium goes down or in case Substack goes down, I don't know. Anything can happen. So it's good to have some backup plan. That's reason number one. Second reason, and this is why. But first, let me show you how you create a new thing here. So you really go here, Professor, and then you go to the dashboard, and then you should be able to go ahead and, oh, it's been a while since I did it. I am not getting the option. Oh, let me go to a writer dashboard. There it is. Okay, and then I want to say, huh. 1 second, Professor. I am really not getting the, I wonder if they're restricted. I'm gonna go to my account. Okay, there it is, there it is. Okay, hold on. And here I'm going to say more. Professor, I'm not getting the option to create a new here. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm having trouble here in Zoom too. I'm trying to create a poll and it won't allow me. Zoom will
I
not
don't get
allow
it,
me.
Professor. I don't understand.
There are things happening with the internet right now that are kind of blocking. I don't know what's going on with the internet in the last 3 or 4 days, but it's not working very well.
Yeah, it could be, Professor. I don't know. I remember they were just go here or here. There'll be an option like create a new publication. I don't know. Maybe they're limiting or they've started doing something. But anyway, guys, but I'm not
Things
getting
are changing so fast.
That's what I'm saying, Professor. I remember just seeing it like last week. 1 second, Professor. Just give me 1 second.
Explore chat activity writer dashboard. Profile explore new note. Would it be on new note?
Professor, I think they moved this a little bit. I think I found it. I got it. I got it. Sorry for the confusion, Professor. Okay. So for this one, guys, once again, you will have to literally create an account, just like in Medium. Just use your email and stuff like that. This is what you'll see. Let me open a private window. So this is what you'll see. Similar to Medium, they both pretty much, like copy each other, I guess. There it is. That's it. Use your email, sign in, problem solve. That's it. Just like Medium. Now, once you sign in, you will see something like this, Substack, right? You will have a blank page because you don't have anything yet. But then all you have to do is go here, go to settings, and this is where I got lost. Sorry about the professor. All the way in the bottom, you have the option to create a new publication. So that's what we are going to do. So once again, we're going to use the same Snoopy thing. So there it is. I'm going to literally copy paste the stuff so I don't have to type everything again. So I'm going to go here. I'll copy Dr. Snoopy and friends. There you go. Oh, I have to remove the spaces. So slightly different procedure, but ultimately, they all come down to the same thing. So there you go. I'm going to create a publication. And then it says mailing list. I don't have a mailing list, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't know anybody I want to add yet, so I'm just going to skip. Topics. So here I want to talk about, let's say, pets. I can say humor, and then I'm going to continue, and I'm going to, that's it, continue with subscribing, and that's all there is to it. New publication created. So now here, once again, I can go ahead and visit my site, the new one I created. There it is. And I can put this link in the chat, just like Medium, and all of you can visit it right now. That's simple, guys. So whether you like Medium or Substack, somehow I feel like Medium has a better interface, like easy to use. Substack, I got lost. Despite more than 10 years of blogging experience, I got a little bit confused in one step. So there you go. It has some steps, welcome, blah, 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 and all that. You don't have to worry about it. What I want to show is how do you create a new post? So very straightforward. Again, I'll go to new post. There it is. Same thing like Medium. I don't want to type everything again. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to copy paste the same thing from last time. Snoopy, wonderful day. There it is. Okay, and let's go ahead and new, edit post. Yeah, so now put the title, then a subtitle, Snoopy the dog spends time with the friends. Okay, then I want to go ahead and I want to put a photo. There you go. I'm going to go here. This one looks a little bit more busy, guys, compared to Medium, which I find simpler. I think that is why I blog more on Medium, maybe. I just don't like this layout here. Seems a little bit less friendly, if you ask me. Okay, I got the image.
Do you find that you have more followers on Medium?
Yes, Professor. I find writing easy on Medium as well. I find blogging easy on Medium as well. So, this one looks busy. This one looks very, very busy. Too many options, I guess.
So there's a question in chat. What is the difference between Medium and Substack? Are they basically the same thing?
The same, like how you talk about cars, Professor. You have a car from Toyota. You have a car from another Ford. It's like the same thing, but ultimately they're different brands. You might like Ford, another person might like Toyota. It boils down to your personal ideas, Professor. So
But it's a
otherwise,
car.
they're both
It's a car. So
ultimately
if
it's a
you want to
car.
write, if you want to publish a magazine and do articles, you can use either one.
That's right, Professor. But I personally, as you can see, I despite, again, all these years of blogging and everything, I still find I'm more comfortable with Medium. With Substack, I'm getting a little bit lost, especially as I'm doing this live. So personally, I prefer Medium, Professor. It seems to be a lot nicer when compared to the Medium one. But it's always a good idea to have a backup. So there you go. Now again, there's another thing, Professor. Like when I put this link in Medium, it automatically converted into a nice display, but that's not happening here. So again, some differences in these two things. But let me copy the remaining stuff here. There you go.
Okay, we're looking at time. Let's focus in on some of the money aspect of it. How can
Oh,
you sell
oh,
your articles, and can you sell advertising through your magazine?
oh, then let me just finish this here, Professor. So guys, there you go. So once you're finished writing, select everyone, put some tags. I'm just gonna put one tag just to show. There you go. And then that's it. It's updated. It's loading and it's done. So now if I copy the link, again, I put the link here in the chat. All of you can read it. It's the same thing from Medium. So the same stuff. And then I go to the dashboard, and then if you go to the link, there you go. That's it, just like Medium. So now we have two magazines, one on Medium, one on Substack, and that's the way it works. One last thing I want to talk about, Professor, before we go on to questions and stuff. This is like
for us to open up, for me to go ahead and click on that link and open it up, it's asking for my email to kind of sign in and check in. So it's kind of a blockage. You just don't
is
have
there
free
no
access.
skip or something, Professor?
It says no thanks.
Yeah,
There's
that's
an
it. That's
option.
it. That's it. That's it.
You can just put no thanks and go right to the article.
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can
Okay,
skip
so
that. Just a
it's a little
pop-up.
more complicated to get in.
Yeah. The Medium seems much more simpler, Professor. You can even see that as well. But one last thing, Professor. Like the greatest thing I like about Substack is that it has podcast integration. So if you are more into audio stuff, and I've talked about this in the previous video, a lot of times people like to listen instead of reading. You might even say there are less readers these days. More people would like to listen or watch stuff. So if you are like to get into audio content, like instead of talking about music, maybe you want to speak about it, or instead of talking about your artwork, you want to speak about artwork, and you're not ready to do videos, or you can't do videos for some reason, then Substack is really, really cool for podcasting, Professor. I have two podcasts from Substack, really, really nice and totally free. That's the best part, because usually podcasting takes a lot of costs a lot of money, and also filled with ads and all that. But this doesn't have that problem. So that's another reason I like Substack, Professor. It has podcast integration. Yes, Professor, I think I'll take questions. Yeah, I think I will run out of time if I don't take questions. So I am ready, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, basically, can you sell advertising through your magazine?
Yes. So, Professor, one option is, oh, the advertising part. So that's the thing, Professor. Like neither Medium or Substack show ads like you see on websites. So this is not like a traditional ad-based platform. So you could say that's not an option at all. But if that is what you're looking for, then your best option is WordPress, which I have not talked about today. So I don't recommend WordPress for blogging, something I touched upon in the previous sessions as well, because it's kind of gone beyond it. I mean, nobody blogs on WordPress anymore. But if you have good content, if you think you get a lot of views, and if you think ad is the way to make money for you, then WordPress is always an option, Professor. WordPress has an option where you can simply purchase like a premium plan. No, it's not that expensive, maybe 50, $60 a year. But once you do that, you can simply hit a button and then it starts showing ads and people can click on it. But these days, Professor, if you think you're building a nice magazine, if you want to make your career about publication, then subscriber payments is the way to go. Subscriber payments and Patreon, the one I showed you about. And also, I've seen a lot of content developers. What they do, sir, is They will sell things like t-shirts and mugs and other merchandise, and that's actually a moneymaker. So these are the ways to make money, Professor. But ultimately, Professor, for me as a freelancer, these blogs and publications is all about getting my name right there on Google in the first page, and then making an impression with my clients. So I'm not looking to make money directly from these publications, but more like generating leads so people can read my stuff, become impressed, and then get in touch with me and hire me. So that is what I am going for. But yes, if you're a content person, if you think you have such content which can be read by thousands of people, then membership programs, Patreon subscription, and of course, merchandising is the way to make money.